apologize in advance for doing 2 fairly depressing vlogs in a row. I promise the next one will be a much happier themed one. I intended that next one to go here if shit hadn't hit the fan last night like it did, but I feel like I can be real with you guys, and those of you who don't want to listen to it don't have to watch it. Those of you who care can watch it. Whatever you want, it's cool. You guys are not in any way, shape, or form obligated to watch these. And yes, I know my hair is doing a stupid flippy thing over here. But anyway, question, like open-ended question to you guys, and leave your answers in the comments. What is the stupidest, most baffling way you have ever lost a friend? All of us have obviously lost friends at different points in our lives, some of us more than others, and a lot of times it can be our own damn fault. I'm the first to admit that it's usually my fault, but this one really just took me for a loop because it's so stupid that I've honestly not run into this one before, this person, and I should have probably known better because I've gone through 3 go-rounds like this with this person, and I figure at this point 3 strikes are out, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try to salvage anything again, but okay. Basically, what went down the first time, and the first time was in fact my fault, that I grew way too reliant on this friend emotionally and just drove them nuts with my anxiety and my problems, and basically was a Debbie Downer to the point where, yeah, if it were the shoe on the other foot, I probably wouldn't want to talk to me either. I don't blame them at all. It wouldn't be the first time that I've run a person off like that. I try to keep a lid on that shit, but sometimes it gets out of control. Some people can handle it, some people can't. It is what it is, but yeah. So that was the first go-round. Second go-round, I thought would go differently because I jumped through hoops to make sure to never bring up any problems ever, made sure to keep such a tight lid on it to where I didn't even show any of my anxiety tendencies or anything, which those of you who know me know how difficult that had to be for me because I'm a super anxious person by nature who worries about literally everything, so trying to keep that under wraps to a point where I felt like it was undetectable anyway. Yeah, not easy, and in hindsight, I'm not quite sure why I felt the need to even try to be something I'm not for a person if that's the only way I can be friends with. I don't know why this seemed like a good idea, but basically, long story short, I forget how they found out that time, but sooner or later, it came out that, what do you know, I still have anxiety, because that's how anxiety works. It doesn't just magically get cured and go away. That'd be a great fantasy world to live in, but it's not how it works. Wish it were, but it's not. And they decided that they couldn't deal with me having problems and cut ties a second time over that, even though that time around I had not burdened them with my problems or my issues or anything else. I kept things strictly to shared interests only. So that one took me for a loop, but figured it's probably still somehow my fault. Third time going around with this person. This happened 3 times in 3 years. You would think I would know better. I apparently don't learn my lesson. Basically, same exact story as time number 2. I did my damnedest to keep everything under wraps, to seem as normal as humanly possible. And lo and behold, you know how they figured it out this time? Apparently, they found my YouTube channel and found my video where I was talking about depression and anxiety. And we're like, wait, so you still have that? You're still dealing with that? Yeah, no, I'm out. I can't deal with you. Not only do you have mental illnesses, you lied about having, or not having, mental illnesses, which is even crazier than being crazy in the first place. So yeah, I can't deal with you, bye. Not in those exact words, but that was the sentiment of exactly what went down. Oh my god. First of all, I never said I didn't have them. I said, when I was asked if I'm doing okay, I flat out said that I'm doing better with them, but that was months ago when I actually was, and it was literally never brought up again until last night when apparently that was the thing, and the shit hit the fan. And it was not just a brief little snippet of conversation, it went on for like 3 hours going around and round in circles of basically me trying to point out that that's not how mental illness works. It doesn't just disappear, even medicated, it does not cure you. It may treat it, it will not cure you, you will have this for life. It's all in how you cope with it, and even if you're the best at coping with it on Earth, you're still going to have periods where it gets bad for a while and then comes back down. But this person apparently is either really misinformed about how mental illness works, or just buys into the stigma attached to the term mental illness, and has decided that anyone who has any sort of mental illness must be dangerously crazy, therefore I want nothing to do with them. The irony here is that this person very blatantly has almost the same exact issues, except that they're in hardcore denial about having them, and believe that they are normal and fine, and therefore they are better than me, and I am not worthy of their friendship just because I deal with anxiety and depression. Yeah. Basically, I feel like that's probably the most fucked up reason that a person has ever ditched me. I'm pretty sure most of you have enough of a brain to know that having a mental illness does not in and of itself make you a dangerous person. Having depression does not make you a psycho. Having anxiety does not make you a psycho. Like, sure, there are dangerous people in the world who happen to have mental illnesses, but if every single person who had a mental illness were also dangerous, most people on the planet would be dangerous, because most people on the planet have some form of mental illness to some degree. Almost everyone. There are some lucky individuals who don't, but most do or will develop one at some point in their life. That's fact. And the fact that this person is not only in denial about themselves, but then turns it around into, I'm not worthy of being their friend just because I have this. That's really insulting. Not to mention, it hurts like hell, because that's not a thing that I can do anything about. Sure, I can treat it, but that's about as much as a person can do in terms of something like that. You can't just make it go away. I did my best at making sure I wasn't burdening them with any of my fucking problems or anything from my personal life, period. The past 2 times going around with this. And yet, still ended the same way just because of the label. I would have hoped and figured and assumed, but we all know what happens when you assume, makes an ass out of you and me, but, would have hoped and assumed that there would be enough information, just in general, that people would know that there shouldn't even be these same stigmas around mental illness anymore that there used to be decades ago, because there's so much more known about them now, and people are so much more open about talking about them now, that to hold something like that against a person just in and of itself, that's wrong. That is wrong. And I mean, obviously, it won't change this person's mind, that's their prerogative, that's their deal, whatever, that ship has sailed, but God, really? There's really people who honestly still believe that in the world? Like, I thought people were past that, but once again, I've lost a little more faith in humanity. Just when I think people can't sink any lower, they find a way to sink lower. What do you know? And people wonder why I have massive social anxiety issues too. I don't know, but it's just so wrong, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody else, and I feel like if it's happened to me with that person, they're probably doing it to somebody else too, or have in the past, or will in the future, and that sucks. And nobody should have to be just vilified, I suppose is the word I'm looking for a thing they can't even control having. That's, in my mind, the same as going, you're a diabetic, therefore you're unworthy of being my friend because you have a problem you can't control, bye! What? That doesn't even make sense. all you do is change the illness that's in there. Mental illness is still an illness just like anything else. It's not something you can control having. I mean, you can control the symptoms to a degree, but you can't cure it. That's the reality of it. That's just really screwed up that somebody would hold that against a person enough to just decide, yeah, I can't even be friends with you just because you have that. Sorry, bye. Sorry, I got distracted. My niece is making a shit ton of noise down the hall. But, yeah. Didn't see that coming. I probably really should have, given that it happened the second go-around with this person, too. But I figured, what are the odds of that happening twice, right? Apparently enough to where it can and did happen again, but it's shit like that that makes me think maybe I am not cut out to have friends or something, because I seem to find the most creatively fucked up ways to somehow screw a thing up without even meaning to screw a thing up or without even trying. I mean, at least if I do something wrong, then I can accept that, I can own that, and I'm the first one who will admit that I'm wrong on a thing like that. But this one, I don't feel like that's my problem. I feel like this is that person's issue that they're taking out on me because they're so in denial about their own that they don't want to address what's going on in their own life. Therefore, they don't even want to deal with a person who's dealing with the same thing for some reason, because it's a reminder of what they've got going on in their own life that they don't want to address. If that makes sense to anyone outside my head. It still really sucks, and it still really hurts, not to mention I'm extremely insulted that somebody would assume that just because I have depression and anxiety that I must be a dangerous person. Is like, if I'm dangerous to anybody, maybe to myself, at best. Not to anybody else, never done anything to anybody else, not gonna do anything to anybody else. That's not how I roll, just saying. But, really though, like, has anybody else had somebody assume that about them if they deal with things like this? And like I said, the original question that I posed to you guys, what is the dumbest way that you've ever lost a friend? Be it your fault or the other person's fault. It can be either just, I don't know, I feel like there's some sort of camaraderie and sharing war stories, I suppose, and battle scars and all that, but I suppose you guys can all hear that. She's playing with her brothers out there, and apparently they're playing with Legos, and every time she builds something, they decide to smash it. But, yeah. Sorry, got sidetracked. Yeah. And I'm falling down here, so. Trying to think if there's anything else that's even worth touching on here, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm sharing this with you guys because I feel like even though this is a thing that happened to me, that I can't possibly be the only person who's had a friend ditch them for an entirely stupid reason, either out of their own control, or even if it did have a reason, just was really stupid. I mean, I've had friends ditch me for other stupid reasons for things I did do, but this one, I didn't actively do anything here. I tried to be as unburdeny and unproblematic as possible, and apparently by trying to be unproblematic, I am somehow problematic. I fail to see the logic here. If any of you get it, be sure to tell me how exactly that makes sense, because I'm not seeing it, but, I really wish she'd quit distracting me and make me lose my train of thought, but, yeah, so, I suppose that's about all there is to say with that, but, yeah, so, like I said, answer the comment, or the question down in the comments, if you feel like it. You don't have to, but if you feel like it, you can. Yeah, I'm kind of just rambling at this point. I'm lonely. It was basically the only person that I had that I could talk to on a daily basis. I mean, not even like a constant thing, just for a little while every day, just kind of makes the difference in a person's life when you're a lonely person, but yeah, whatever. It's not the only time it's ever happened. I'll live. I always do. It just, for now, sucks and hurts, but yeah. Like I said, the next vlog will be a happier one. I had intended this one to be about, well, my second youngest nephew who's staying here right now just had his 5th birthday and made me reflect on mine and just how happy I was back then. I'm like, yeah, I could definitely use to think about happy stuff right now. So the next one will be about that. Just to get off of this downer kick because I don't like it any more than you guys do, I'm sure. So I am still intending on filming another video today, another comparison video. Just keep plugging through those because I realize I have massively dropped the ball this month. I think I filmed videos, like 1 or 2 days, and I think that's about it. So yeah, I'm still trying to pick up the pieces and get on with things and try and regain some sort of normalcy here, but yeah, so I'll probably upload them both at the same time, and just whichever one goes up first is whichever one uploaded first, but yeah, so if this shows up after that one, it means the other one just uploaded faster. I can try to just wait it out till they're both ready and done processing and hit this one first and the other, but that seems like a lot of work that I'm not sure that I feel like dealing with today, so we'll see how it goes. If you watch both of them, I suppose it'll make sense. If not, then you'll probably be like, what the hell's going on? But she must be right outside the door right now. There's like a little landing right outside my bedroom door, and they play there sometimes, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I have that video coming up. I have that vlog coming up probably tomorrow. I'm looking at my whiteboard from here. Sorry, that's why I'm looking off to the side. I already did the book review. I can cross that off. Oh yeah, I have those tea reviews to start in on. I forgot that I was gonna do those. So that's coming up the following day, apparently. I had completely forgotten about that. That shows just how flighty and disorganized my mind's been lately. But yeah, that should be coming up, and there'll be... it's hard for me to read without my glasses on, but there should be other stuff coming up that is, thankfully, not downer material. I appreciate you guys sticking with me and bearing through this, because, like, I know that it's not the easiest thing on the planet to watch, or the most pleasant when somebody's just dealing with depression stuff, because it kind of does make you feel down just listening to it, and that's why people don't like Debbie Downers, but I'm not trying to, I'm not looking for sympathy, I have to vent it somewhere, because I don't have anybody to talk to now, so, yeah. Well, not that I could really talk to them either, I only had fandom stuff I could talk to them about, but still, at least it was interacting with a human being on a daily basis, but, I mean, yeah, there's other people that live in the house here, but it's not the same when they're, like, age 7 and under. I mean, yeah, there's their mom, but for some reason, unbeknownst to me, she's not talking to me. That's not helping my depression either. It's like, I don't know what I did. If you won't tell me what I did, I can't think of anything that I've done to piss her off. So I'm like, I'm very confused right now. My other sister would talk to me, but she's like never home, so there goes that. My dad, yeah, no. Under normal circumstances, maybe, but how much he's been drinking like lately, there's no talking to him, and yeah, nobody else here is really worth talking to, so yeah, that pretty much leaves internet friends, but most of them, I've noticed like people use instant messengers less and less these days, so it makes it harder to find anybody that you can actually talk to in real time, unless they happen to use Skype, and I don't have very many people added on there even, so I'm rambling, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to, I promise I'm not trying to, but yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this up, because I shouldn't keep rambling at you guys, so, like I said, thank you for hanging with me through what is really a weird time right now, and kind of just trying on me, but like I said, I promise the next one will be a happier video, the next, I don't know how many should be happier videos, because I can't think of anything coming up that would be downer material. So I think we're good to go after this one, unless the shit should hit the fan on something else major, but I don't think there is much anything else that can happen at this point to have that happen with. Knock on wood. I don't even know if this is real wood. We'll try the door then. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah. I need to shut up. I'm so sorry. So, yeah. I'm just gonna hit the button. I'm not even doing my sign off on this one.